Hi, I'm Chef Laura Briscoe, the owner of Laura's Gourmet Granola. A lot of times we get asked the question, what is it that makes your granola so much better than everything else that's out there? And we do get that question quite a bit. I'd like to say it was a happy accident, but in fact there was a lot of work that went behind the scenes to create the recipe that eventually became known as Vanilla Almond Crunch. You see, essentially what happened was, after finishing chef school, I had started a private fine dining company. And not too long into that, I started playing with a recipe for granola that I actually saw in a culinary magazine. However, this particular recipe had so much fat and sugar in it that I wouldn't eat that I kept playing with the recipe. I think I was just trying to recreate the granola experience I enjoyed when I was in college and cramming for exams, even though this was at least 16 years later. Long story much shorter, the recipe for Vanilla Almond Crunch was eventually born, but not before I played with different types of oils, different types of sweeteners, different types of nuts, etc. And so when Vanilla Almond Crunch actually became Vanilla Almond Crunch, long before it became a retail product, I knew it had a following only because people were willing to make a trade for it. Because, you know, when you make something, you always have more than what you're going to eat yourself. Well, at least in my house, that's how it worked. So I would take my granola with me to my daughter's soccer games, and they would eat it during the halftime. Or I would take it to see my trainer, and he would actually take the granola as opposed to me paying him. So that must mean it's worth its weight in gold. Regardless, a very, very close friend of mine, some might say she's my best friend, suggested I think about selling it. And so as a result, I thought, well, go big or go home, and I went after AJ's Fine Foods, which is the specialty market for Arizona. And after a lot of effort, and I'm telling you, it's just not easy, I was able to land my very first retail shelf. And I was good with that. But over the years, different opportunities kept showing up more or less organically. And like anything else, if you're paying attention to what the universe has to say, and you hear it, then you will follow and make good on whatever it is that the universe has been telling you. And so we eventually landed into more retail locations, and also began our food service business, which is what the big boxes without the pretty packaging are, for hotels and resorts, private fine dining for corporations, catering companies, rehabs, universities, hospitals, professional sports. You get the idea. So pretty much in spite of what I really thought granola was going to be, Laura's Gourmet Granola has become. One thing to understand about our product, though, is we do all of our production ourselves. So I'm standing right now in our facility, and this is where we make everything. We do all of our packaging here, we do all of our labeling for our packaging here, we do all of our baking for our product here. Everything happens here. We don't outsource any of it, or what's known in the industry as co-packing, not just because maybe I'm a little bit of a control freak, but more importantly because we like to know we are owning the consistency and quality of the products that we're making. Can this be scalable, you might ask? What happens if? Well, those what ifs have already happened, and yes, we have been able to scale, which is why we have moved, actually it was 2 years ago, into a larger facility. What you see behind me are what you would see in any kind of a bakery format, which would be large mixers. Over here you can kind of see a little bit of our rotating rack oven, and for us it's just a matter of adding more equipment and more labor without sacrificing the artisan crafted way that we love to make our products. So at Laura's Gourmet Granola, what you can always count on when you're enjoying us, whether it's for breakfast, as a snack, sprinkled on your dessert, baked into your favorite recipe, crusted on your favorite protein, whatever the case might be, and the granola case for that matter, what you can always expect is that not only are we putting premium ingredients into the product that you're eating in a recipe designed by a chef, but we're also doing it with passion and an intention of providing you with the best, most wholesome granola that you could possibly want to enjoy. And that is a little bit of the behind the scenes or behind the story of Laura's Gourmet Granola. Please feel free to comment below, or if you'd like, reach out to us directly at laurasgourmet@laurasgourmet.com.